Zachary, do you think Ahsoka's viewership will be hurt by all the ties to Rebels, since not everybody has seen the show? Well, it's bigger than that. Ahsoka is a character from Clone Wars, and not everybody has seen Clone Wars. And so it's a show that inherently is targeting a niche group of Star Wars fans. A lot of you grew up with Clone Wars. I've only watched Clone Wars because I was just curious. I've never done a deep dive. I watched through it one time and then did a good viewing of the season 7 when it dropped. I watched that one proper. Watched a good bit of it with my son, but I've never been a massive Clone Wars person. To a lot of people, it's just this animated show that was kind of for kids. I know a lot of you that watch it, like, no, it's not. It's so much better than that. It's so much better. It makes the prequels better, and it dies in. I know. But what's the actual perspective from a lot of people that are my age? We were in our late 20s when it debuted. Yeah, it's that animated show for kids. My sister's kids were, elementary age when it was running originally, and so yeah, they watched a lot of it. I was 30. I did not watch it when it originally aired. And in particular, the original pilot movie they put out, it was the first 4 episodes edited together. It wasn't very good. And so it was a bad first impression. The show got better, I think, after season 2, and they kind of figured out a little bit better what they were doing. But the whole concept of an Ahsoka show is it's a spin-off of an animated show that a lot of people didn't watch. So it kind of feels kind of niche already. And there's enough things, maybe through Mandalorian and other things, that potentially will open that up to get people pulled into it. But wait, stop and think about the nature of this show. The lead character, very, very Clone Wars. The side characters, very Rebels. The villain, 90s EU, the face of really the EU. What's the classic set of EU extended universe books? The ones that everybody read? The Thrawn trilogy, Heir to the Empire. And so they cut a trailer that it's a character that if you didn't watch Clone Wars, you don't have strong opinions about. Bunch of side characters that even fewer people watch Rebels, so they don't have an opinion about. And then they're going, he thinks he's the heir to the Empire, which, granted, it is the books that are most read, but it's also very much the book readers. And if you want, and a lot of them are already burned on Disney Star Wars. The first people burned by Disney Star Wars were the book readers. When they went, yeah, I mean, those books you've loved and considered the extended canon since, for a lot of you, this is the sequel trilogy. We're throwing that all out and we're doing our own thing. They burned those people already. And I don't know that everything in the last few years has won them over to bring them back. I don't see that happening. Maybe they're curious to finally see live action Thrawn, but they're already burned. So Ahsoka as a show, it's like if you're all in and you've watched all of this and you've read all of this, it's a show designed to, I don't want to call it fan service because it's built into the show. It's not just cameo palooza. It's the actual cast is let's pull from all of these animated books, let's pull them together, finally do it live action. But it's fan service the show. Hate to use the term because it has negative connotations, and that's not really what this is. It's so cool if you know all this stuff. But is that a broad audience? I don't know how broad that audience is. Inherently, if you do something like Mandalorian, it's kind of new characters and it's surprise appearances from people, it's cool. And then you watch the Easter egg videos to figure out who they are. But if you build it based off characters that are established but not to everyone, I don't know how well it translates. I don't know. I'm curious about it. I think it was a good trailer. If you remove some of our frustrations with some recent Star Wars and you just watched it, There's a lot of cool Star Wars in there. Like, you don't need to know that those are Rebel characters. You don't need to know who Ahsoka is to be like, oh, lightsabers, battles, the epic consequences. But if you do know, there's a big history for all of these characters. There's a lot of things to consider, but I don't think it's just a matter of the Rebels characters will hurt it. Everything about this show, it's Clone Wars, it's Rebels, it's the books from the early 90s. And obviously they brought Thrawn back. He was in Rebels. He's had his own set of new books, but Thrawn is famous because of Heir to the Empire 30 years ago.
Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.